This item on the agenda addresses the request made several weeks ago by the Trust of Americas to present to the members of the Permanent Council its initiatives and contributions in promoting digital empowerment and economic opportunities in the Western Hemisphere through public-private partnerships. The Chair has agreed, and so I'm therefore pleased to greet and welcome Ms. Linda Eddleman, Executive Director of the Trust for the Americas, to share this information with us. Ms. Eddleman, welcome, and you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Assistant Secretary General Mendez, Chief of Staff Conque, ambassadors and distinguished delegates. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today about how the Trust for the Americas enhances the positive impact that the Organization of American States has across the hemisphere. As the ambassador introduced me, I'm Linda Eddleman, CEO of the Trust for the Americas, and we're an affiliate of the Organization of American States. As distinguished delegates, you know better than I that many countries are still recovering from the impact of the pandemic. It is not a surprise that underserved groups have suffered more than most, and they are still struggling. Who are the underserved? They are low-income women, at-risk youth, indigenous communities, migrants, and people with disabilities, among others. 27 years ago, Secretary General Gaviria launched the Trust for the Americas to bring together public and private sectors to help the most vulnerable members of our societies. Our mission is to promote social and economic inclusion for vulnerable people across the Americas. We always do this through public-private partnerships that give practical meaning to the mandates of the OEA member states. Secretary General Gaviria would be astonished that the organization he created has now impacted 5.5 million people across 29 countries. We're very proud of the fact that we have now worked in almost every member states, and our goal is to work in the three in which we have not yet worked. We're in active conversations about that. I think he would also be pleased to learn that over 2/3 of our funding, 2/3 that we bring in, is reinvested and spent in the member states where we implement programs. Also, our programs are run in partnership always with local civil society organizations. We feel like one of the best things we can do is build the capacity of local civil society organizations so they can then implement their own programs more successfully as well as ours. Today, we work through a network of almost 400 learning centers. They're technology training centers that are comprised of 59 partners across the Americas. Through this network, the Trust provides the underserved with access to technology and training in digital, entrepreneurial, and soft skills. In fact, tomorrow, I'm very pleased that we are going to be launching the first AI Center of Excellence in Pasto, Colombia, and we're going to be rolling out these centers in a number of countries in the coming years, so keep tuned. The training we provide allows our beneficiaries to be economically independent and to more fully contribute to their societies. Basically, our programs help participants find jobs and start or strengthen their own businesses. I've had the privilege of meeting many participants over the years, and I'd like to tell you about one of them. And I think there's a picture of Bruna on the stage here, on the screen here. She's a young woman from Sao Paulo, Brazil. She gained tech skills, which allowed her to get a better job and improve her life. She's the oldest of 3 children, and at 18, she started working at a bakery. Bruna took this job because she felt like she needed to support her family, but in fact her dream was to become a software programmer. She learned of a project that the Trust for the Americas ran with a local partner that would give her the skills she needed to become a software programmer. Fortunately, the classes were flexible because she needed to continue working, and she was able to take courses and work at the same time. She now works at one of the largest information technology companies in Brazil, Montreal, as a junior systems developer. Bruna's story, from managing a bakery to developing software, is a powerful reminder that by combining hard work and commitment with the right opportunities, anyone can redefine their future. And this is why we do what we do, why we've been doing it for 27 years. As you can see from our impact numbers, we have come a long way, but there's always much more work to do. According to recent studies in Latin America and the Caribbean, women's economic participation in the workforce and pay in Latin America and the Caribbean is amongst the lowest in the world. Young people in Latin America and the Caribbean are twice as likely to be unemployed as adults, and over 80% of the 50 million people with disabilities in the region are unemployed. These are just 3 of the many reasons why the Trust needs to continue scaling its impact to benefit many more millions of vulnerable people across the hemisphere. I'd like to say a quick word about our operations. I'm only going to speak for another couple minutes. I know it's been a very long day, so I'm going to keep my remarks blessedly short. I'm almost finished. But I'd like to say a couple things about our operations. I'd like to emphasize that the Trust has a very lean staff that allows us to have lower costs than any similar organization. We only have 10 people in Washington and about 40 in the field, which allows us to tailor our programs and also keep our costs low. We've been highly efficient with our funding. For every dollar of OAS support to our organization, we raise $37 from other sources for programs implemented in the hemisphere. That is based on 2023 numbers, and when I tell my private sector partners about that, that's astonishing. We argue that's a very good investment for the Organization of American States. Last year, in 2023, 83% of our funding for our programs came from the private sector. Private sector companies feel confident investing in trust programs. They know the funds they contribute toward development programs run by us will be run efficiently and effectively. We're also very grateful for our parent organization, the Organization of American States. That affiliation, combined with our 27-year of program metrics, provide us the credibility and knowledge that allows us to draw that level of private sector contribution. And at some point, I invite you to look at our website. We have something called the Trust Information System, and we have data for all of our programs over the last 25 years. It can be broken down by beneficiary population, impact, et cetera. We look forward to continuing our work with all member states to scale our impact, enhance collaborative actions, and secure sustainable funding. For example, the Trust has the OAS has mechanisms to provide social protection in its member states, such as the Inter-American Social Protection Network. We at the Trust would be pleased to support the goals of the IASPN to protect the vulnerable through our programs. To do so and to expand our efforts generally, we need your support and insights. And this is sort of our call to action. This is what we're asking from you, because really we can't do our work and increase our impact across the hemisphere without your input and also your support in introducing us to philanthropic leaders and private sector companies around the region. That will allow us to continue to scale our efforts. Because the people we serve can speak more powerfully about their experiences than I can, I'd like to close my presentation today with a brief testimonial by a Jamaican woman named Brianna, who, by virtue of some of the programs in which she participated, she was able to start a business, earn income for herself and her families, and then later became a trainer in one of our centers in Kingston. So with that, if we could play the video, which is, I think, a little under 2 minutes.
You know, it all starts with a dream. I had a dream, and once you implement the steps to get there, you will. Hi, I'm Brianna Chang. I'm 27 years old, and I'm the creator for the project iDetect. iDetect, it's a device and app that is able to detect whenever someone is having a seizure. The idea came about in 2012 when I had back-to-back seizures, and the doctors were saying to me that, you know, it would be better if they're able to see what's going on when I'm having the seizure. So the idea came to me. I was searching for an app, but all of them you have to manually, you know, activate it when you're having a seizure. That's not practical. So I came up with the idea of an app that automatically detects when someone is having a seizure. Once it detects a seizure, it will alert the persons around that person that, hey, this person is having a seizure, and the device will speak of the seizure aid techniques. The innovation and entrepreneur training at the DIA lab, it helped me to grow business-wise. It showed me how to operate in the business world. You know, as in, I'm not really a business person, I'm more tech-wise, and they have detailed and showed me how important it is to have the business side of it, so nobody can rob you when you get your money from the sponsors, you know, stuff like that. How to use the money for good use to ensure that your product is actually up and running, and how to sustain your business so you have a profit, not a loss. I'd like to thank the Citibank, USAID, Organization of American States, Trust for the Americans, Institute of Laws and Economics for creating a space that I could come and work on my innovative idea.
Well, thank you very much. She is one of, I think, 34,000 people that we've been able to help in Jamaica, and we hope to continue growing that innovation. She came to us. She didn't have an advanced degree. She had an idea, and she was able to develop and take it to market and start a small business. And we've worked with, I think, tens of thousands of kids around the hemisphere. So we hope to be able to do more of this and to work in your countries. With that, I'd like to thank you again for the opportunity to present. And I could take any questions, or I'm available to meet with you later or to answer any questions if you might have them. Thank you so much.
Thank you ever so much, Ms. Eddleman, for your insightful presentation on the importance of public-private partnerships in fostering digital empowerment. I now offer the floor to delegations wishing to address this agenda item. The chair recognizes and offers the floor to the delegation of Jamaica.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just going to be very brief in saying thank you very much for that very, very insightful presentation that speaks to the partnership that can result in creativity and innovation, which is what our young people are striving towards. Jamaica certainly looks forward to deepening the collaboration in that regard and to continue the excellent partnership between the public and the private sector, and to encourage that we work even more to take these collaborative ideas to the local level, where the marginalized communities and the persons in vulnerable situations can benefit some more, and of course the country and the hemisphere at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the delegation of Jamaica. The chair recognizes and offers the floor to the delegation of Costa Rica. Costa Rica, the floor is yours.
Muchas gracias, señor presidente. Buenas tardes a todos. Bienvenida, señora Linda Eddleman, directora general del Trust for the Americas. Le agradecemos la presentación del informe que nos acaba de hacer y el valioso aporte que nos ha demostrado con sus datos sobre el trabajo que realiza el Trust en favor del desarrollo de nuestra región. Como una entidad sin fines de lucro afiliada a la OEA, consideramos que la labor del Trust ha sido fundamental en la promoción de las alianzas público-privadas, como usted mencionaba en su informe, y la implementación de proyectos que promueven oportunidades educativas y económicas, así como la responsabilidad y transparencia gubernamental en, según usted nos indicaba, 29 países de la región, impactando a miles de personas en las Américas. Especialmente deseamos destacar el impacto positivo que han tenido los proyectos que ustedes han desarrollado en Costa Rica, especialmente programas como la innovación y tecnologías cívicas para aumentar la transparencia en servicios gubernamentales, también otro relacionado con la mejora en los servicios gubernamentales a través de la innovación y la creación de redes multisectoriales, y uno relacionado con gobierno abierto también, especialmente con el área de la prestación de servicios municipales, que agradecemos muchísimo. Estos son ejemplos concretos que reflejan el compromiso del Trust for the Americas en promover la innovación, la transparencia y la colaboración con nuestras autoridades. La asociación única que tiene el Trust for the Americas con la OEA nos ha facilitado también acceder a ciertos programas donde están relacionados los tomadores de decisiones y las personas jóvenes que se ven beneficiadas con las directrices o las políticas directamente en las comunidades, estableciendo con ellos redes sólidas en los Estados miembros también, con el sector privado, con el sector público y con la OEA como un puente con el Trust for the Americas, uniendo esas actividades de los diferentes sectores. Gracias a esa colaboración hemos podido fortalecer nuestras capacidades también para hacerle frente a los retos que nos son comunes. Siempre lo decimos, que queremos ir en bloque, por lo que agradecemos que se establezcan a través de su trabajo estas redes de cooperación como resultados sostenibles que nos permiten trabajar en beneficio de los ciudadanos de nuestra región. Muchísimas gracias por el trabajo realizado y por el informe.
Thank you very much, delegation of Costa Rica. The chair recognizes and offers the floor to the delegation of Chile. Chile, the floor is yours.
Gracias, presidente. Agradecemos también la presentación que nos da cuenta de cómo ampliar la conectividad digital, siempre en combinación con otras políticas, ofrece crea posibilidades de avanzar hacia sociedades más dinámicas, más inclusivas. Esto nos parece relevante en la medida que, si bien nuestro hemisferio ha demostrado ser bastante resiliente a los shocks externos posteriores a la pandemia, el crecimiento regional aún es bajo, dificultando con ello habilitar avances hacia mejores calidad de vida en cada uno de nuestros países. Así, en nuestros territorios tenemos la tarea de encontrar urgentemente formas de impulsar la inclusión y el crecimiento, mejorar gobernanza, generar consenso social. En ello, soluciones digitales como las que promueve el Trust pueden ser parte de la respuesta, ya que ayudan a complementar reformas estructurales con mejorando prestación, aumentando productividad, respaldando diferentes procesos. En ello, la inversión pública y privada en conectividad digital puede estimular nuevos sectores, crear nuevos empleos, abrir nuevas áreas de comercio, aumentar eficiencia. En calidad, la inclusión de programas gubernamentales que van desde la educación hasta tecnificación de específicos sectores productivos. Ahora nos interesa agregar que la conectividad digital, sin embargo, no es una fórmula mágica para crecer. Es más, si no se le acompaña de acciones decididas en el ámbito de la habilidad, en la conectividad, la regulación, puede incluso amplificar las desigualdades. Por ello, nuestro país defiende que el foco debe estar siempre en las personas, en su desarrollo y no en las tecnologías en sí mismas, para pensar estas últimas como herramientas que puedan crear oportunidades para capacitar, para empoderar a nuestros pueblos. En esa línea nos hacemos eco del llamado que hacía al final la directora, pensamos que nuestra experiencia es que vale la pena invertir tiempo entre las delegaciones y el Trust, analizando lo que se hace en cada uno de nuestros países para encontrar oportunidades que permitan escalar la actividad de nuestras naciones, de modo de cumplir de modo más pleno la misión que tiene encargada esta entidad. Muchas gracias, presidente.
Thank you so very much, delegation of Chile. The chair recognizes and offers the floor to the delegation of the United States. The United States, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you to Ms. Linda Eddleman for the insightful and superb presentation on the Trust of the Americas approach to digital skilling and economic opportunities in the Americas. The United States is a strong supporter of the Trust, especially through its work impacting the lives of persons with disabilities. The key word here meaning impact. Creating digital skilling and economic opportunities is paramount in today's rapidly evolving landscape, Mr. Chair. By equipping individuals with the necessary digital skills, we empower them to thrive in the digital economy and seize new opportunities for personal and professional growth. Through innovative programs and initiatives, like the one presented today here by the Trust, we can bridge the digital divide and ensure that no one is left behind in the digital age. The United States commends the Trust of the Americas for their dedication to providing vulnerable groups with the tools needed to succeed in this digital world, as well as their unwavering dedication to fostering a more peaceful and just region. Their work is truly transformational. The Trust's commitment to collaborate across sectors to build capacity and create pathways for all individuals to realize their full potential lays at the groundwork for a brighter future for all. These efforts also align with the resolution put forth by the United States for the upcoming General Assembly, titled Expanding Social Protection and Inclusive Opportunity in the Americas. This proposal underscores the imperative of promoting fair, equitable, and inclusive societies across our region. At its core, our proposed text acknowledges the pressing social and governance challenges faced by the Americas and emphasizes the critical role of social protection in promoting social cohesion, political stability, and democracy. These aims all serve to support the work of the Trust. Mr. Chair, the United States looks forward to continuing to collaborate with the Trust for the Americas on advancing our shared vision of a more inclusive and equitable society. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, delegation of the United States. I'd like to thank again Ms. Eddleman for her presentation. which is open valuable avenues for collaboration between the Trust and the OEA's member states. And we can explore how we can work together to advance digital skilling initiatives in the Western Hemisphere. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank and extend appreciation to another member of the Trust of the Americas, Mr. Alex Figueroa, Chief Operating Officer, and thank both of them for the valuable work that they have been undertaking on behalf of the Trust and under the auspices of the Organization of American States. Colleagues, with that being said, the Chair recommends that we take note of the presentation and we install them in the records of the Permanent Council. I thank you so very much.